This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT Television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening, I'm Alexa Olson.
And I'm Jeff Andrulonis. Good evening. The big story tonight on the 6 o'clock report.
Police are still searching for Thomas Smith after they say he was involved in a kidnapping and then ended in a car crash Wednesday afternoon in Emporium.
That's right, Alexa. Police say it all started when the 58-year-old Thomas Smith allegedly made threats against two bank employees, forcing a female employee into her own car at gunpoint and telling her to take him back to the bank. She refused, and after Smith continued to threaten them, she jumped from her moving vehicle, according to law enforcement. That vehicle continued to travel until it crashed into the porch of a house. The woman was able to run into a convenience store where the manager called 911. Smith allegedly fled on foot. Police also advise that if anyone is harboring Smith, they are facing felony charges. Police ask that the public be vigilant. Smith is considered armed and dangerous. Police say if you see Smith, not to approach him, but to call authorities immediately, and the investigation is continuing tonight in Cameron County.
We would also like to give you an update on that shooting in Wellsville. The 16-year-old suspect is being identified as Wyatt Studervant, a student at Scio Central School. Not much else is known at this point in time. Police are still saying that the motive is unknown in this shooting.
State police are continuing their investigation into an accident that left two men with major injuries. Ridgeway-based state police say it happened on U.S. Route 219 near Howard Road when a car driven by 18-year-old Frank Quattroni was traveling south on Route 219. It crossed into the northbound lane and hit a pickup truck driven by 46-year-old Mark Snelnick. Police say neither were wearing seatbelts at the time of the accident. Authorities say the cause of that crash was determined to be careless driving on the part of Quattroni in Elk County.
Happening right now in Olean, the Common Council will gather for an Olean Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. On the agenda, once again, the issue of the sign outside the new outpatient surgery center on the Olean General Hospital campus. Joe Gahn, who is representing OGH, is requesting a sign variance to allow for the installation of two non-illuminated ground signs. This action is being taken after the city got multiple complaints that the sign obstructed vision of drivers trying to exit the outpatient surgery center. And yesterday, unofficial sources told WVTT that the Olean Tile Company is going out of business and that all employees are being laid off in 90 days. WVTT spoke with a former employee of the tile company who said he had also heard that the company is going out of business and that this is a sad day for Olean.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad, especially for our community. It's one of the bigger employers of the area. It's really sad.
However, WVTT reached out to the communications manager at the tile plant who could not confirm or deny the rumors.
It's ongoing assessments. No decisions have been made at this time, but there will be no other interruption in our operations or impact to our customers, which is absolutely our highest priority.
Western New York welcomed Defense Secretary Leon Panetta today. Panetta arrived at the Niagara Falls Air Reserve Base earlier this morning. Congresswoman Kathy Hochul asked the Defense Secretary to come and tour the facility, which is currently in jeopardy due to widespread cuts proposed by the Pentagon.
Well, today, U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will take a tour of the Fredonia State University High Technology Incubator in the city of Dunkirk. While she is there, she's expected to announce federal legislation to spur the growth of new science and technology jobs in Western New York and across the state. Meanwhile, former Governor George Pataki has endorsed fellow Republican Wendy Long in her run against Democrat U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. In announcing his support Wednesday, Pataki said New York voters should send Long to the Senate to cast the deciding vote to repeal health care reform and to reduce government borrowing. Well, if you walked by the Olean Library last night, you may have noticed some furry feathered friends. WVTT's Derek Smith has more.
Well, right in our backyard at the Olean Library, some pretty unusual birds were spotted. That's because Olean Library's Summer Theme Dream Big sponsored an event last night that had rehabilitator Mark Baker there, showing off some rare owls and hawks. This was to raise awareness to the community, the importance of the birds, their culture, and to serve as an educator for the creatures. Each bird was in a state of rehabilitation and cannot be released into the wild again.
In an effort to help offset a multi-million-dollar budget deficit, the Olean School Board is talking about advertising in schools at their recent board meeting. The idea has not yet been approved, just some guidelines discussed and set. Board members agreed that staff and students cannot be employed by companies who pay for the ads, and the ads that appear on school websites and athletic scoreboards must be age appropriate and not promote gambling or drugs. Budget shortfalls have forced the district to lay off 48 employees this year, and some buildings have had to close in Olean as a result.
An update to a story that we brought to you yesterday. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Wednesday that Erwin Raj, a nationally recognized professional sports expert with a lot of experience in stadium development and sports industry, will advise the state on its efforts to keep the Bills in Buffalo. Governor Cuomo says that New York State is committed to doing all it can to keep the Bills as part of the Buffalo community, while also protecting taxpayer dollars and seeing that the team can thrive in Western New York for years to come. Cuomo added that Erwin Raj has years of experience working with sports franchise owners and local communities, and he will be a valuable addition to the state's efforts to keep the Bills right here at home.
Coming up, WVTT's World News Roundup, including the very latest about gun violence in this country. The story next as the 6 o'clock report continues here on News Channel 25 WVTT.